Hey guys, Ace here and welcome to C++ tutorial number 28. Today we're going to be looking at default parameters. So in C++ we have, as I've just said, what are called default parameters, which allow us to supply default parameters so the user doesn't have to type them. So for instance, the first example I'm going to use is I've got a function which does something to a power, and so it's called the power function. And the first parameter is the number you want to do to whatever power, and the second parameter is the power. So if we were to call this just normally, it would look something like this. So calling it, we're going to do 2 to the power of 4, for instance. That's how we would do 2 to the power of 4 using the power function. What we've actually done is in the function header we've said int pow, which would normally just be like this. Whoops. There we go. Normally it would just be like this, right? But to give a default parameter, we type equals and then we type the default parameter. And so here, because often when people do something to the power of something, they generally mean 2 or 3, but we can only have one default parameter, so I chose 2. I've chosen to set the default power variable to 2. So if someone wants to do something to the power of 2, for instance, rather than calling the function like this, so 2 to the power of 2, they can just call it like this, because by default the power variable will be 2. Okay? So that's basically what default parameters are. Now, just so you know, you only have to put what the default parameter is in the function header. You can see in the function header here I've got int pow equals 2, but in the definition I've just got int pow like this. Okay? You can put it there as well. Still works. Oh wait. Maybe we... Okay, actually no, it doesn't work. Never mind what I just said. Now it works. I'm gonna just do it like that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so you can only put the default parameter in the function header. So just as a demonstration about default parameters, I've just output power 3, which will do 3 to the power of 2. Quick look at the implementation of the power function. Pause the video now if you want to look at it. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead now. Okay, so I'm going to run this. We should expect this function to give a value of 9, because 3 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 2 is 9, and as expected, it gives 9. And now, if we want to do something 3 to the power of something else and not 2, we just put in a comma and do it to whatever power. Okay. So the program gives us 729. Let's bring up a calculator. 3 to the power of 6 is equal to 729. Okay, so it looks like the program is working properly. Now, one thing that you need to know that's important about default parameters is that once you start using default parameters, every parameter after the first default parameter must have a subsequent default parameter. So for instance, I commented this function header out because this function header won't actually work. If we take a look at it, it's called void ranfunc. First parameter is sumNum, it doesn't have any default. Second is a string is equal to hello. And then the third one is just a char called mychar, and it doesn't have any default value. And if we try and run this, we get a build error, and it says error ranfunc missing default parameter for parameter 3, because once you start using parameters, here in this case I've started using parameters in the second parameter, so every parameter including the second parameter and after the second parameter must have its own default value. Okay, and so the error is coming here because we haven't supplied the default value for my char. Let's just do that now, and we can see we'll get rid of the error. Yeah, so there we go, and the program works. Okay, so let me just get rid of that. Basically, that's default parameters for you guys. next tutorial, function overloading, a very cool thing in C++. Anyways, guys, over and out.